Hi everybody, I'm Joey and I've got some really cute Halloween projects to show you today. When you jump on, please say hi, let me know where you're from, and if you're watching on YouTube, I still like to know, so I would love for you to comment there. If you're new to my Facebook group, I would ask you to like and follow my page if you're interested in seeing future videos and posts and events and things like that. If you're new on YouTube following me, I would love for you to click the subscription or click the bell and click to subscribe to my channel. All right, everybody, let's get going on some Halloween stuff. I know it's September, but it's kind of time to think about it for crafters. I've got one treat holder today and then two cards that I think are going to be really cute. Let me go ahead and click my toolbar here, and then I'm going to go upside down, and then you'll be right side up. So here we go. In the meantime, I also, you'll see my arm in the picture. I'm trying to bring you up on, or bring myself up on my Facebook page or on my iPad so I can see what you're seeing. Looks like I went a little bit too far here. Let's come back. And one more click. Sorry, it takes me a few minutes to get all my electronics geared up and ready to go. And then of course my computer wants me to put in a password even though I was on it just 2 seconds ago. Okay, I'll be there with you in just a minute. You know, I do, oh my goodness. I'll look at my iPad here and see what's going on. Is that going to be better or worse? Kind of both. Okay, here I am on my Facebook page on my laptop, but I don't see myself live, so let me refresh my screen and we'll get going. In the meantime, you can take a look at these two, this bundle. So we're going to do the Bag of Bones. We're going to use it today for our projects. This is, let me bring it out. It's in our mini catalog. It's kind of fun to show you the whole spread, so let me just look it up to make sure I show you everything. I'm looking it up here. Page 49. So if you have a catalog, it's on page 49. If you don't have a catalog, I can get one for you. If you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. So this is on pages 48 and 49. It's our major Halloween suite. We do have a couple of other Halloween stamp sets, but I'm going to focus on this one today, and we'll show you more from next week. Hi Julie, hi Diane, Kathy, Carol, and another Kathy. So nice to see you. Now, there's a couple things I do want to point out. So this is the DSP. This is still available. The stamp set is available, but right now the dies are not available, but they're supposed to come in September 18th. So that's not too far away. Today is already the 13th. So it's just 5 days from now. These little glow-in-the-dark ghosts and bats are not in right now, but they are supposed to be in, I want to say September 23rd, either 23rd or 25th. So it's not too far away for those either. And the glow-in-the-dark paper the same. But they're coming, and they're coming in time for Halloween, and plenty of time for you to make your projects for Halloween if you want to use this bundle. So put it on your calendar and just make sure you order by then. I'll be putting a note out on my Facebook group and my email subscribers. And if you're not subscribed, I would say make sure you subscribe to my email. I'll go ahead and put a link in. Put a link in the comments. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and do it at the same time and I can't. But I send everything. That's the best way to follow me and know what's going on with me, is to subscribe to my newsletter. And every week I also send a free tutorial to my subscribers just as a thank you for subscribing. So if you want to know more about me and things I have to offer, just make sure you do subscribe to my newsletter. that said, I'm gonna, gosh, just can't get my phone straightened around here. Let's go this way and see if that's better or worse. No, it looks like it's worse. Okay, let's go this way and see if that's better. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. And then let's go this way. The phone stand kind of moves too, so I don't lock it in like super tight. Let's move a little bit again. There. That looks pretty good. I'm going to pass through my new Halloween class. I just finished it this morning. So I don't have anything out about it, but it will come out in my email. So take a quick look here. Here it comes. Passing through. Passing by. There's 5 treat holders and a card in my bag of bones. No, I'm going to call this Them Bones class because it'll get confused with this week's class, which is the Bag of Bones class to go. Okay, well, let's get a look at this stamp set and these dies, and let me get some things. This is one of the easiest treat holders. Let me get all my bits out here. The easiest treat holders ever. I usually do make a few of these every year, pretty much every year. I see that I didn't get out a punch, so I just have to turn a moment and open a drawer. Hang on. Okay. I'm going to use the Banner's Pick a Punch for this little treat holder, so I wanted to make sure I had a hold of it. Oh, and I didn't grab my M&Ms either, so let me... I'm not very helpful today, am I? Let me grab... I've got some other M&Ms. Hang on a second. Okay. Okay. Because I specifically sized this to hold these little fun size of M&Ms. So I'm sure it will fit other things too that come in a small bag, but I sized it for those. Those are readily available in your supermarket. So I have, this is a piece of 3 by I think 8 and something, 8 1/4 cardstock. I scored it at 3/4 at, I know you can't see that. Let me move up a little bit or move this out just a touch. So I scored it at 3/4, at 4 1/2, and 4 3/4. So now when I do craft fairs, I do a lot of these because they're fairly easy. I wanted to show you something easy. And they don't take too long. What takes time is anything that you want to put on the front of it. So if you just do some punching or a little bit of stamping on a circle or something like that, this will go fast for you. Hi, Liz. Oh, good. You're all making friends. I love that you're making friends and connections with each other. That makes me very, very happy because we're all about sharing stamping and community, sharing our lives with each other because connection is just everything. It makes our lives just so much happier. Connections with other people and with stamping. Okay, friends, so I've got this little flat folded up here. I'm going to grab my M&Ms, my fun size M&Ms, and I'm going to just fold them in there to that little fold. And the reason I'm folding this in is because I want to catch this bottom of the pack with my stapler. So I'm going to hold that in pretty tight right there. And then I have a handheld stapler from Stampin' Up! That we had years ago. You can use any stapler for this. And I'm actually turning it upside down because I want the finished side of the staple on the outside so it doesn't catch anything right there. But you could do it the other way, and we're just going to cover it up anyway. We're going to cover it with ribbon, so we don't really care. And then all you do is you just tuck this in. This is called a matchbook holder. You may have seen them before. If you haven't, it's a very easy treat. It will be easy to make treats like this for school, if you have children in school, or for neighbors, or for your coworkers, or family, of course, or those little trick-or-treaters that come. If you get a lot of trick-or-treaters and you like to make special things, this will be a good one. So I'm going to tuck this in first before I put down my designer series paper. This is the Them Bones Designer Series paper. And this piece of paper is 2 3/4 this way by 3 that way. So I'm just going to stick this on. I have already die cut a Starry Sky circle out of with the stylish shaped circles, and that's going to be kind of here. And then we're going to make our cute little skeleton boy here. We're making the cowboy today. Let's go ahead and do that though. So here is the stamp, and I'm going to use basic gray for him. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. I think that's big enough. Yeah, that'll work. And I'm going to ink this up. And let's go ahead here. You know what we should probably do, since we're using photopolymer, we should probably get out our Stampin' Pierce mat. So I'm interested, how many of you, first of all, hand out candy on Halloween? So just say, you can just put in the comments candy or no candy. And if you hand out candy, if you're a Halloween person and you have people that come to get treats from you, do you make for everybody special treats like this, decorative treats? I have a friend here in Lincoln that she did this for all of her trick-or-treaters, and she has a lot of trick-or-treaters. Not this particular treat box, but one that I did last year, and she made them for everybody, which was pretty impressive actually. She's the only one I know that goes to that extent to do it, but I do know a lot of people that make cute little treats for their co-workers and special neighbors and friends and family. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tack him down just because I don't want him to move. But the little bit of this is called post-it tape, post-it labeling and cover-up tape. And I just got it on Amazon. You can probably find it elsewhere, but I don't want this little guy to move. So we're gonna just go ahead and die cut this little gray scarecrow out. So I'll tell you what we do. We moved into this house about 4 years ago, and before that we lived in a neighborhood that was just chock full of children. There are children in this neighborhood too. It's a pretty mixed neighborhood. And we had a landscape designer that lived just a few houses down from us. And she and her family, every year, they just went all out with Halloween decorations. And because of that, I mean, they created a whole yard full of, you know, lights and skeletons and witches and bats and all kinds of things for kids to come and go through. So we literally, honestly, had a couple hundred children come through our neighborhood. There would be times we'd buy a lot of candy, and yet Steve would have to go back. We lived fairly close to a Walmart. He would go to Walmart and get more candy. We did that for many years. And then we moved over here, and then there are not as many children over here, plus we don't have a landscape designer who is bringing in lots of kids from other parts of the city, so that helps a little bit. Oh, we need to put his cowboy boots on. So these are so cute. Look how cute these. Can you see these in the camera? How they have indentions on. Oops, that doesn't help. You let me come this way. Now let's come up this way and see if you can see that better. I don't know if it's catching the light or not, but there's embossing, like little stitching on the cowboy boots. So we had to have a cowboy skeleton. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm using my liquid glue for this to get his little cowboy boots on. Anyway, so all right, this is terrible, so don't judge me. But when we moved here, we decided we were not going to do the upscale Halloween like we had always done before. So we don't hand out candy. I know that's terrible. I think we just got overloaded at our other house, and we just did it for so long. But we do, our nieces bring over their children. I mean, we do have candy, and we do open up for our neighbors and a few people for a short while they come by. And so that's how we do it. Kathy, we don't have trick-or-treaters come by here, but I have a pumpkin man who talks and holds a bucket of candy for anyone who comes by during the month. Oh, that is a great idea. I love that idea. That sounds awesome. All right, let me give you a few. I'll read more of your comments. I'm trying to just keep moving here so that I don't, we're not all here for a lot of time, but because I know you just kind of want to get the idea and move on. Now, this little skeleton, he's got some pretty skinny bones. So, when you put the boots on, it gives you a little bit more space to hide the dimensionals. But you do kind of need dimensionals on him because his limbs are so widespread out. So you don't want those to get bent. Like if I was taking these to a craft fair, I would make sure all those legs and arms were buttoned down so that... which reminds me I don't have anything there yet, so let's go ahead and put, I think a mini glue dot will be okay right there. Let's see, I mean a mini dimensional. So this is a place where your mini dimensionals will really come in handy. And also I found myself reaching a lot for my black mini dimensionals. So do you guys know, this one's kind of beat up because obviously I've been using it, but you can get a multi-pack of both the mini dimensionals and regular dimensionals in the same pack that are black. Okay, so that's that guy. And I've been using a lot of those with this paper because there's a lot of black in the paper. Okay, I'm going to show you another little tip here. So I'll show you my finished little guy. So I have a short greeting here, but if I cut this to this size and then I try and control this going into my punch, I have got to go this far with trying to hold it. So you can see how challenging that would be if I didn't have this strip. So this is the way I do these kinds of greetings. I cut my strip longer. I think this is 5/8. It's either 5/8 or 3/4. This is 3/4. And there is the 3/4 groove here. This is the banner's pick a punch. So there's a 1/2 inch, there's a 3/4, and a full inch groove there. And then I'm going to turn this over. But because I made it long, I can control it here. So I'm reaching under. I know this looks awkward. Well, because it is kind of awkward on the TV. And then punch it so I get a flagged end. Or you can just put a flag end with your scissors. That works too. And then I'm just going to cut this off with my paper trimmer to maybe 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1 3/4 inches. Well, let's see. Might need to be a little bit shorter because I kind of want to tuck it in under his. That'll be okay, but I think I want it a little bit shorter. So maybe this is going to be about 2.5. Like so. Then I'll put my greeting on, and then I've saved myself all the consternation of trying to put in a tiny piece into my punch. So let's go ahead and use black memento on this guy. Oh yeah, okay, that is another tip too. or tip 2, I'm just reading your comments. Let me get this stamped and get going, and then I'll talk about that. So we were doing this last night actually at my team meeting. Okay, where is this? Okay, boo to you. You can use a Post-it note if you have too small of a paper. We were doing that with our pumpkin punch last night. If you have too small of a paper, you can attach it to a sticky note, a Post-it note, and then you have a handle. The sticky note makes the handle to put your image in your punch. So that's a good idea too. Thanks for sharing that, Kathy. Yeah, I knew you meant size, Kathy, not sizzle. That's kind of cute. Okay, let's put this on here. And I can tell right now, darn it, I forgot to get out my gems. So I'm gonna get them out. I was so busy creating my new Halloween class with this set that I'm super excited about. When I was getting ready for Facebook Live this morning, I've just neglected to pull out my gems. And we've got ribbon too. So this is a new ribbon in the mini catalog. This is black and vanilla large check. I'll show you a comparison to the black and white one. This is the black and white one that's in the annual catalog. This is the new whiter one. And it has this little vanilla edge on it. So they are quite different. Obviously they're both gingham, but I really, really like this ribbon. It really ties really easily. And I highly recommend it. If you like ribbon, you'll like this one. And they're different enough that I think it's worthwhile to have both in your collection of ribbons. So I'm going to put a mini glue dot right there on that stapler, and then I'm going to also put one on the back. And that is actually mainly to hold my ribbon in place so that when I go to tie it, it's not moving all around. Okay, so I want to kind of go like, I'm trying to figure out if I have enough for a bow. Yeah, there's plenty enough. Make that a little bit smaller because I don't think I need that much for a loop. That's let's see. And then, oops, when you've got your glue dot on, then don't stick down your packet to your paper that's underneath. Okay, now I'm going to bring this around, and I'm just going to put that ribbon over the mini glue dot and the staple right there. Then I'm pulling my ribbon out like this. And you can see on this particular project that I have, hopefully I gave myself enough ribbon, that I have white cardstock. I could have done my skeleton on very vanilla, but I think it's okay. It's Halloween. What I mean is okay is I think the very vanilla ribbon combined with the white is still okay. I don't think you have to have black and white here. I think vanilla works really well. But if you want everything to coordinate exactly, then you might want to use vanilla cardstock on your skeleton or your images with this set or any other set that you're using this ribbon with. But I just love gingham, pretty much gingham everything, especially for crafting. I love. Okay, so there's our guy. Let's get out some gems. Hang on here because I'm going to have to thumb through my gems. This is how I store my embellishments. This is going to be really close to the camera. This is a Longaberger basket I have, and then I just store them in these stamp cases like this. So I'm going to just thumb through here. I know I'm close to the camera. I know what gems I want. I just have to find them. What I want are, sorry guys, let me get out of the camera so you can focus on my cute little project instead of me thumbing through my gems. Of course, I probably won't see one in here. Let's see if they're in my box. Nope. Well, I might have to settle for a different gem. Darn it. You know, that's the way life goes sometimes, isn't it? It's like you just about had it. We could do, no, let's not do that. Ugh, this is annoying. Well, let's just pick one. Let's do that guy, because those gems are kind of orange. What I was looking for are, they're called self-adhesive glitter dots. And they are really, really glittery. I'll show you a project I did last night. So this is my box that I did last night. We did these at my team meeting, plus some other cards with the pick of the patch set. And then these are how sparkly they are, and they come in this color, white or kind of silvery, and black. So they're perfect for Halloween. And I probably had them out last night for my team meeting, and I just don't see them here. I just did a quick little tour around the craft room, and I just don't see them, so we're gonna just move on. We have a lot of different kinds of gems that would be cute. These are called Neutrals Adhesive Back Sequins. And they would be, they're good for fall. They're good for year round, but they'll be good for fall too. So let's see here, what do we want? Let's go with, this might blend in too much, so I don't know if we want that one. This one, maybe it's the color of his cowboy hat. That might be good. This is kind of the color of his cowboy hat. Or we've got white here. The white would probably show up better. Let's go with white for this guy. So I'm just gonna stick around a few little gems like so. And there's our first little treat box. You can make a lot of these very quickly, my friends. You could also just punch circles out. That would make it faster. You just die cut the hats and the boots out. You don't have to stamp them. So the only thing that would take a little bit of time on this would be stamping your skeletons. But you know, if you're organized and you stamp them all at one time and then you die cut them all at one time, then you're set to go. So there's our little cute little treat holder. Now I've got 2 cards for you. So let me go ahead and get my other projects ready to go. Oh, and let me let you know that, so this project is part of my class to go. So if you make a $35 purchase this week, you'll get all the supplies to make 6 projects. So 2 each of 3 designs, and this is one of them. You will need the stamps. You will need the bag of bone stamps and dies. Now, I say that, but honestly, you know, this week, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and die cut these. Well, let me say, if I have time, I'll go ahead and die cut these for your kits. But remember, on the 18th, the dies are going to come available. So you'll want to order them that day or the bundle that day. So every week in my class to go, you get 6 projects, the supplies for them. And then you also will get a taco on my taco chart. And the tacos mean that you're getting a ticket in my Make It to Mexico drawing. I'm still trying to earn the trip to Mexico. I haven't earned it quite yet. And this week, for every $35 order, you get 2 tickets in the drawing, or you get for a $50 order, you get 4 tickets in the drawing. And the drawing is for gift certificates. So there's a $25, a $50, and a $100 gift certificate. So this is how far I have to go. I'm keeping a chart, and every time I get an order, then I enter it in here. I have to get down here. Each one of these is 500 points, or it's either dollars in US, or I can get points for my team promoting as well, and there's a possibility of getting some through that. But so I've got this length to go. This star is where I hit a sales goal I was trying to reach, and I've already hit that, which thank you so much for those of you who have been supporting me. I hit the sales goal, so that actually gives me a cash bonus, which is super nice. Then you also get, when you put in a purchase, and you'll get my PDF tutorial for the project. So this, and so you get detailed directions, you get a lot of photos, and also a supply list so that you know what I use. So all that comes with just the $35 purchase using the host code. This is critical. You have to use the host code, or you have to use a link that I provide in my email that has a host code embedded. So just make sure you take care of that part of it. Okay, let's go ahead and do a card. So I'm going to get out my bits and pieces for the card that we're going to make. And I've lost you on my screen, so if you're like, I've been trying to ask you a question and you're not answering, that's because my computer, where I see your comments, there we go. Okay, so I think I might be caught up with your comments. I'm not sure. Let me refresh my page. So if I miss a comment, I always come back, so no worries. I'm just going to dump my envelope out of everything that I have for this, and then we'll go ahead and make a cute card. This is a fun fold card. I just lost the video again. So, sorry if you're commenting and I'm not answering. I'm not ignoring you. Oh, Liz, you're welcome. So I also send thank you cards in my class kits. And Liz ordered last week, so she got a class kit and then plus a thank you card. I've been sending taco cards, Liz, just part of the whole Make It to Mexico thing. Okay, friends, let's do a really cute, this is an easy fun fold. So this piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it's it's just a single piece of cardstock. And then the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put right on top of that a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white. Sorry, I had a hair distracting me. Basic white 4 by 5 1/4. Now this is how we're going to save our paper. I'm going to show you a good way to save paper on this. Let me show you the card. So this is the card, and it opens like this. So this kind of looks like you've got a whole piece of pattern paper under here, but I have cut strips. So this is just that basic black, and then I've cut a strip. This strip is 1 1/2 by 4. This strip is 1 1/2 by 4. So this is how this is going to go on here. Let me show you again the finished card and see how this works. So we're just covering up that white with the pattern paper because, whoops, you want to make sure you do get it right on the edge, the right hand edge over here, and cover up the white. There we go. And then this one over here, same idea. And like so. And then we're going to put this piece over like this. Does that make sense? So you can see how this goes like this. So it's kind of a little bit of an illusion that you're putting pattern paper all the way across here and then just covering it up with a piece of white, but that's not what we're doing. Okay, before we put this together, let's go ahead and get the front of our card done because we've got a lot of stamping to do here. So let's put this piece is 3 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches, scored at 4 1/4. And all the directions are on my PDF. So you put in an order, you're gonna get all the directions. And if you put in a $50 order, you'll also get a pack of embellishments. And my plan is to give out the ones that I couldn't find, my sparkle gems. And wherever the heck they are, I don't know. I have a whole box of them just like I have for my other embellishments, but you know, that's the way life goes, especially on Facebook Live. Okay, so now we're gonna do this like this. We're gonna cover up that white with this front panel, okay? Just like that. So, oops, need to be over just a touch. Let's go ahead and for this I'm going to use Oh, I'm just, for the sake of time, I'm just going to use a tape runner. And let's put this over the, let's line this up like this first before we glue it down. So we'll make sure our covering the white. And then we just fold this over. And then that makes your fun fold, like so. Make sense? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put a tombstone on the front, and I think I'll pop this up. So this is basic gray. There's two sizes of tombstones in these dies. So there's this one and then this one. So they're pretty fun because they're embossed as well. So they've got all the little indentations and then the decorative stonework, which would be actually on a real gravestone. And they die cut super easy. So if you like the stamp set, I think you will want to have these dies. You definitely can use this stamp set without. This is Petal Pink and this is the smaller one. I'm going to go ahead and, I think this one will put flat and not pop this up because we're going to pop up our skeleton. I definitely think you would enjoy having the dies, but again, any stamp set can be used without dies too. All right, so now we've got this far. Now, let me show you how to make a skeleton that isn't put all together. Okay, so now this skeleton is different legs and arms. So what I've done is I have put all of those on my glass block, far enough away from each other that the dies won't run into each other. Then I'm going to take my pumpkin pie cardstock, not cardstock, ink pad, not Joey. I'm probably going to ink it with the facing up, like so. It's just easier. Just lightly tap when you're inking. Then I'm going to go to my scrap paper and just going to stamp all my bits and pieces. So the arms and legs for this guy. Yeah, that's right. Okay, then actually I also want to die cut a little rose because he's got a rose in his hand, or she. I don't know if this is a he or she. It's orange, so it could be a boy or a girl. There's a sweet little rose in here. I just love this little rose. I don't know what it is about it. Okay, so then I'm going to put that there. Then we're going to color that one. So let me grab, we'll color it first before we die cut it. It makes life easier. I'm going to grab my Cajun Craze Light. And let's go ahead and color our little rose. Okay, so got that going. Now let's grab our dies and our die cutting machine. Well, first, before we do that, well, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I've got this here. Now I'm going to go back to my dies. Then we're just going to line all these up like so, and we're going to cut them all at one time. So there's that, there's this, etc., etc. So you're going to line all those up and run them all through at the same time. Now, I actually have done that, so we're not going to take the time to do that, but I do need to do the little rose. Oh, let me make sure I have all my skeleton bits here. I think I do, yeah. So I have done that already, but that's how I did it, and that's how I would do it if I was making multiples of these, so that you have everything stamped at one time and you run everything through at one time. That just makes your life easier. And it simplifies the project because, you know, let's face it, there's a lot of little, if you're going to do the arms and legs separately and the body separately, there is a lot of little pieces to stamp and then die cut. So if you stamp them all together at one time and then die cut them all together at one time, then that's way better. Okay, let me go ahead and get out the die cutting machine. We'll run this through. So this is our Stampin' Cut and die cutting machine. You do not have to have one of these to have fun stamping. You can stamp projects with just stamps ink and paper and have a wonderful time doing it and have lots of fun. If you want to step it up, the die cutting machine adds a lot of fun and dimension to your paper crafting, but it's not critical. It's a major investment, and if you're not 100% sure you're going to love stamping, I'm sure you are going to love stamping, but if you're not sure, then you might want to wait until you've been stamping with just stamps, ink, and paper for a while. Okay, let's go ahead and let's put our little skeleton together for this card. So he's got jazz hands because this is a performing skeleton. He likes to have the spotlight. So he's got jazz hands going on here. I taught junior high and high school vocal music for most of my career, well, all my career. And I always had some kind of a swing choir, a show choir. And so jazz hands were pretty common in things that we did sometimes. Oh, that seems like a lifetime ago. Now there are, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there are like little pinpoints here of where to line up these limbs. I know that's going to be really hard to see. Let me come over here. Here, see if I can get closer. I'm looking at my camera. Can you see them? There's one, there's one, there's one. Okay, and then there's the same on the limbs. So here's one on the leg, right there, that little pinpoint. Camera's not really focusing in on that super good, but I think you can tell the idea. And if you have these already, then you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't have them yet, then you'll know to look for them when you get your dies, if you plan to get them. Okay, so this arm goes here. So I don't know if my friend Diane's still watching. She likes to putz. She was on earlier. So she would enjoy a stamp set like this. And the rest of you that like to, you know, really do a lot of detail on your stamping, then this is a perfect set for you. All right, let's go ahead and grab a mini glue dot for the rose. You could use Tombow liquid glue. I'm gonna go ahead and use a mini glue dot just a little bit faster. Put a rose in his hand. So there's our cute little dancing skeleton with a rose in his hand, or her hand. Then we're gonna go ahead and put it on here. We'll go back to our mini dimensionals again for his hips. And then what I've been doing when I'm not putting him or her on a dark surface, so I don't use black, because black is still going to show a little bit if you just put them on the legs. So I've been just going ahead and rolling up a mini glue dot. So I'm going to take my mini glue dot and I'm just going to roll it up on itself. So I'm just, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to get closer here. I'm just going to fold it over on itself, and then I'm going to put that like here on his knee. Same thing. Gonna go ahead, and I know you can't see it, I'm trying to show you, and then I'm just taking my piercing tool. This is not the one we sell currently, but again, I don't know where mine is. It's here. I've got one that's a current one, but it's the same, works the same way as this. Then I'm going to take off my backings of these. We probably need a dimensional on his head though, and for that I think we'll use a full-sized one. So there we go for that. If you're just joining, you can get this class for free. You get 2 supplies for 2 each of the cards I'm making today with your $35 order. If you put in a $50 order, then you also get a free pack of embellishments. Okay, now
we're going to do the greeting. This is, I think it's 5/8 by 3, something like that. Yep, exactly, 5/8 by 3. And then for this greeting, we're going to take Cajun Craze. I made this card maybe a little bit girly. You could definitely give it to a guy. But I put the petal pink in it and the rose in it, thinking maybe it would be for a girl. But you could give, that's not too girly to give to a guy. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the Cajun Craze greeting on basic white cardstock. There we go. Cajun Craze is such a great fall color. And then for this one, I'm just going to angle it with my scissors. It gives it a little bit added interest. So I'm just going to grab my paper snips and I'm just going to go ahead and trim it off, and then we'll put our, let's see, we're going to put this kind of down here. We'll maybe let his knee go over. So it's going to go about here. So where I want my dimensionals, I think, are right here. And then where I'll put the adhesive, and that has disappeared completely. Where is my adhesive? Goodness gracious. I don't know how that happens. Oh, here it is. I don't know how you can lose adhesive. So this part's going to be flat here because here's where we're popping up. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive just on that end so I can kind of stick this under here. This is a little high. There we go. Kind of want to go like that. Make sense? Okay, there's that. Let's get some gems out for this one. And for this one, let's see, what would show up the best? Let's go with, I don't know, maybe the orange ones. Let's see. No, they fade away into the background. This one, that's pretty good. I kind of like that. They're not real contrasty. Again, these are not the gems that I had planned to send with you or send to you for your order. But I always say sometimes I have to substitute. Now, right now, the ones I want, the glitter sequins, are in stock because I've already ordered some. So there's your cute little fun fold card. It's a super easy card. And I'm going to see if I can get you back up on my computer so I can see your comments. And it looks like it's still spinning away. So let me click do my iPad here and see if I can see your comments coming up. Nope, can't see them. Okay, well, I will answer your comments or your questions. It'll just have to be after the video's over. Then one little thing I did is I die cut a tiny heart from the Bag of Bones dies, and in Cajun Craze, and then I put a cute little heart on it. So there's our second project today. Alrighty, let's go on to the last one. I'll put these aside so you can see them. What do you think about that card, everybody? Do you like this one? Is this a fun fold you've done before, or will you try it? I hope you'll try it. Let me know if you might try it, or you've already done it once at least. All right, let's get out. We're going to make another card, and this time we're going to make a little scene, and I'll show you how to die cut tiny things and be able to adhere them well. Darn it, I just am so frustrated I can't see your comments. Let me see if I can come back in and if it'll bring them up. Let me just try. Okay, there we go. The jazz hands, big deal. Oh, yeah. And Liz says she loves the sparkle gem. She's bought a second pack already. Yeah, Liz, I bought multiple packs already. Not that you know it, because they have disappeared temporarily. But they're in stock. So if you like the sparkle gems too, you're going to be good to go. This is a piece of black cardstock. Now we're going to create a little Halloween scene here with black cardstock. Then we're going to, while we're doing this, let's just get the inside done right away. So and of course I can't seem to grab the inside piece. Here we go. Let's maybe one. Nope. All right, I'll put my inside in later, but for all my dark cards, I always do put in a white piece in the middle, obviously. Now, there is such a thing as white pens, so if you want your Halloween card to be spookier and you want to write in a white pen, then that works pretty well too. All right, so we're going to go ahead, let's just go ahead and we can put this down. This is Starry Sky, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. And then let's go ahead and just glue this down. Now, let's see, what do I need to do here? I think, okay, so I know what I need to do. We're going to go ahead and stamp the skeleton. We've got a moon to put on too. We're going to stamp the skeleton, and what else do we need to die cut? The fence. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. So this is just a piece of black cardstock, and then I covered the back of it with the self-adhesive sheets. I just cut it to the size of, I cut both the cardstock and the self-adhesive sheet about the same size so that I could do 2 fences. So this is how we're going to do it. I wanted to show you that because it's easy to peel off that sticky part for like skinny things that you're trying to glue down, which is what we're about right here. So, and here's some grass. So I'm going to show that. Let's go ahead and stamp our skeleton though. We're going to have another gray skeleton. Let me grab some cardstock and another gray, or my ink pad, which is where, here it is. So I'm really ready for fall. Who's ready for fall? Anybody? Or a lot of you summer people, because I know if you're a summer person, you don't love fall. Because, not because you don't like fall, but because it's the end of summer. Which, it's not the best stamping. I should have put it on my piercing mat, but we'll go for it. But I am not a big summer person, because I live in a state that it can be very hot and very humid. Now, we didn't have actually very much of that this summer, but it can be. But I love fall with all the trees changing colors, the cool weather, the sweaters. As soon as it gets very cool consistently, I'm turning on my fireplace because I love to have my fireplace on. And so in Nebraska, we have really beautiful falls. So I look forward to fall every year. Even when we don't have a blistering hot humid summer, which this summer had many cool days actually, and not even that much humidity, but then we did have a spell when we had both, and it was, you know, just not super fun. Okay, I'm grabbing my Big Shot now. Not my Big Shot, that's a past thing that we used to have, but my die cutting machine. And we're gonna go ahead and die cut everything. So there's my scarecrow all ready to go, and then I'm gonna put my fence. By the way, this fence cuts really well. Even though it's an intricate die, it cuts very well. So even with the adhesive sheet, whoops, that's crooked. Even with the adhesive sheet on the back. So let's go through, we'll go through at least once and then maybe twice again just to make sure. Because one of the reasons, because we're on video, and video is always a little dicier than, you know, in-person crafting on your own, because things just go wacky on Facebook Live. But let's go ahead and get this out of here. And then you're gonna see, I'm gonna take my brush and you're gonna see all these little bits just fall right out. So then you might need your paper piercer to actually take it out of the die. But there's these little holes here. You're probably aware of that if you've done any die cutting. If you're not aware of it, it's good to use those little holes to poke out your die cut without trying to go to immense different kinds of ways to try to get it out without a hole in it. So that's what those tools are for. It's good to have them because it just makes your crafting easier and smoother. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get this card together. We're going to make this little scene here. So, oops, I should have stamped my bats because we're going to put bats on this graveyard scene for Halloween. I'm going to grab my black ink and then my bat stamp. Now, I am going to put a moon. This moon is Daffodil Delight cut with the new deckled circle dies. They're new in the mini catalog. So I'm going to just put this here so I can kind of see where my bats should go, even though my moon isn't glued down yet. Just in case I make a boo-boo, then I don't have to unstick my moon. Always better to not have to unstick things once you've stuck them down, right? Is that right? Who's with me on that? Okay, I've got some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. The pack comes with both mini and regular size dimensionals. I just don't happen to have any of the bigger ones sitting out here right now, but they're in the annual catalog, so you'll find those. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting these little tiny ones off the backing. These are in the mini catalog. Oh, for Pete's sakes. All right, so, and then I got smudges on my moon, but maybe that's okay for bats. So I must have got my fingers dirty, inky with the black ink, but that's okay. I think for Halloween, it's okay. And I could have even stamped my bats on the moon. That would have been good too, to look like they're flying in the shadow of the moon. Then we're going to take our fence post that we've cut out here, and I'm going to go back to my piercing tool, and I'm going to take off that backing like so. Like this. And you know, if you really want to make sure you get to make some cards with this set, you might want to go ahead and just order the stamp set, but make sure you put a reminder on your calendar or your phone, wherever you go, to be reminded of things, and put a reminder on the 18th. And I mean check in the morning, because the autumn leaves paper that is so beautiful, and it sold out right away. And then it came back in on the 11th, and it was sold out by noon, or not noon, but it was sold out the first day. No, okay, that's probably a lie. I think it was sold out on the second day by afternoon. So it came in on the 11th. It was there the evening of the 11th, and the part of the morning at least on the 12th, and then it disappeared again until October, I think 23rd is the date on that one. Now I'm looking for my little, there's another little bat in here, and then we're going to put a greeting on our gravestone. This is basic gray. I think I meant to cut it in smoky slate, which is a little bit lighter, but we're going to go with this. But you could do it in any color, but I'm making my scene kind of spooky, so I made it in basic gray. By the way, the inspiration for this card came from Melissa Faust. This is pretty much like a card that she posted last week, I think it was, and I thought, oh, that's just really cute. So this is pretty much the same as she did. This greeting is eat, drink, and be scary. I'm going to put it up a ways because I'm going to put some grass. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm going to put, looks like I'm getting my head in and everything else here today. So, you know, another bonus Facebook day. You get to see my hair, my arms, as I'm stamping. Just kind of crazy. Okay, let's go ahead. Now this is a die also that cuts this grass. So let me show you the die. It's this die right here, and it cuts the top. So you can make your grass taller if you want to, or smaller like I did. This is a 1/2 inch piece by, I think, 2 inches, a little over 2 inches, and actually it's kind of long. So I'm gonna cut some of it off. Grabbing my scissors, cut it just a little bit. Maybe I'll put it on first. And I could have put my greeting up further, probably should have. But this will work. It'll work. Just not very much glue. Barely pushing on my Tombow, because Tombow can get out of hand pretty quickly. And then I'm going to just put my grass down here. And so frustrating on my computer. There we go. Liz, once about 3 Valentine's days ago, helped me save on my more expensive specialty paper. Yes. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to cut this just a touch here. It's, well, yeah, I think it's too long. Let's cut it just a little bit off for our grass. There we go. Then let's go ahead and put our dimensionals on. This will be a perfect place for, whoops, black dimensionals, the regular sized ones. And I'm not going to hunt for mine right now to take, so I don't take extra time, but they're nice to have in your collection of adhesives. So if you don't have them and you do some Halloween crafting, you might think about adding those to your order. They're on the page with all the adhesives in the annual catalog. Okay, we're gonna put this guy kind of under the moon here. We want enough room for our skeleton. Now our skeleton is dancing again, and as I said, he's quite the entertainer. So I've cut a cane, I've die cut a cane for him, and then he's got a little top hat as well. So we're gonna go ahead and give him a top hat. And these are things that will stay on really well with your Tombow glue. They're going to be a little bit harder to manage with any other kind of adhesive. Let's put that down a little bit further. So there's our top hat, and then we're going to put a cane in his hand here. So let's, I think I will still go with my mini glue, or not mini glue, Tombow, just very lightly so it doesn't go squishing everywhere. And then I'm going to put this through his hand and maybe about up to his shoulder. There we go, about like so. And then let's go back to our mini dimensionals. This one I will use my mini glue dots. So I just want to remind you before we get completely done here today, make sure if you want to know when my Halloween class is coming up, because I'll have that out either later today or tomorrow. So you can sign up for that. And I'm probably I'm not setting this in stone, but I'm probably gonna have the sign up ending day be the 18th. So if you are ordering the dies, you have them. You have a chance to get them. No, not end on the 18th, but maybe end on the 19th or 20th, my registration, so that you don't try to register for it and can't get the dies. I'm kind of mumbling. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm going to have the registration center around the date of the 18th. Does that make sense? So that you can hopefully get... Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I didn't want to do this. Now he's kind of bald. I wanted to put it in his hand. All right, if you make a mistake like that, all you have to do is go back with your adhesive eraser. If you don't have one of these, they sell them at Dollar Tree. Oh, and then now I'm just wiping his head off, his hair off his whole head. So let's forget that and let's go ahead. It was supposed to go in his hand. So I'll show you my other sample where I have it in his hand now that I've kind of erased his whole head. But, you know, he's a skeleton, so he might be a skeleton that only has half a head. I mean, I'm sorry. I know. I'm going there. I'm sorry. It's not even funny, but it's kind of funny. Okay, let's go with mini glue dots for this. And I'm going to stick a mini glue dot on there. If that adhesive had been dry, I could have just taken it off and put the hat in his hand. And then we're just going to very carefully pull him up. And I think we need something down here. Let's go ahead and put a mini glue dot down there. Can't find any tools. And I have been pretty good about putting my tools back. I'm just rolling a glue dot again. And then we're going to put that down here so his foot isn't just hanging loose there. That could get caught on the envelope and get messed up. We don't want our sweet little Halloween card to get messed up. So here we go with this guy. I'm going to put him kind of right next to the gravestone, like so. And then, let's see, for gems, I'm not sure we'll do gems on this one. It might take away from the whole scene, so I think I won't. But there's our cute little, I think that's done. Yep, there's our cute little card. And as I said, you'll get the supplies for 2 each of these with your $35 order. There's no M&Ms included, I'm sorry, but you can easily find M&Ms in the store. I don't even know where my second card is. This is kind of a hot mess today, kids. Well, anyway, so there are our projects for today. Which one is your favorite? If you're still watching, which one? I'd love to know which one is your favorite. Well, I pull up your comments again. Oh, Kathy, thank you. Oh, both Kathys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your sweet comments. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for your support. As I said, I am getting closer to the end of the trip. I only have 2 weeks left, so if you would like to help me out, I would really appreciate earning your business. And you have to use this host code in order to get this class for free. All right, do you have any questions? I'm going to pull myself up here, or anything you want to ask about the project I made today, or anything else? Need any help with anything? I'm getting my phone thing tightened up here. Let me check as I ask for comments. Karen said her favorite is the last card. This card. This one is supposed, so what do you like better, the hat in the hand or the hat on the head?
that was kind of a, you know, a faux pas, but you know, that's kind of how it goes here on Facebook Live. And then just make sure that you sign up for my email list so that you don't miss anything, and you'll get my free tutorials, and you'll see events coming up so that you can sign up if you want to. At least you won't miss them just because you didn't know they were available. Trying to check your comments again. You like the hat on his head, Kathy? Well, maybe that is better too. I don't know. That sometimes the mistakes turn out to be the better one. Anybody else? Chris, boo. Oh, you're funny. Are you still on, my friend? I see your boo. Well, boo to you guys. That's, you know, like we're getting in the spirit, aren't we? So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your friendship. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next week. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye. Thanks for the hearts. Bye.